Does this look familiar to you? Yes, it is the crisis cycle. What I like to do is just explain a little bit about what you probably see either daily or weekly in your classroom. We start with the various phases of the crisis cycle. Phase 0 is at the bottom here. That's when the individual or the child is at their personal best. Things are good. We can keep doing whatever it is to keep it like that. This is also a great time to build relationships of trust. But phase 1, stimulation or triggers begin. The child is warming up. Something happened. There are things that can be triggers that can be asking the child to do something or to stop something, being teased, transitions, receiving a consequence, not getting enough attention, wanting something. The list goes on and on. How can we respond? Well, we can remove them from that stress or that stimuli, or remove the stimuli from them, whatever works best. Next is escalation. Phase 2. Things are going up. The individual or the child starts to get more upset. You can feel that tension rising. How do we respond? We offer options. We can set limits. But this is not the time to give them something that they're crying for or give them something that they really, really want. We want them to see that the way that they're acting is not appropriate. We also want them to know that it can be very hard to handle when you're screaming and crying. So let them understand that displaying inappropriate behavior is very, very detrimental. Phase 3, that's crisis. Things are very hot. This is the point where you just let things run into its course and keep everyone as safe as you can. Safety is priority in this phase. The least amount of interaction is necessary. Most of all, stop talking. The more we talk, the worse it gets, as we can see. Phase 4 is finally that phase where we talked about de-escalation or recovery. Things are going down. This is a very important point where the individual or the child has reached his or her peak, and you can then start to calm down. But be careful at this stage because it can go easily back to the crisis phase if they're pushed too hard, and we want to avoid that. Finally, the last two phases, welcome back. The individual seems like he or she is back with us. They're starting to return to a state where their reasoning skills or compromising skills and language skills are getting back to normal. And finally, phase 6, that's post-crisis. That's when the child says, I feel drained, and I bet as a teacher you would too. After this phase, we can offer observation and support to try to get the child back on track. Help the child to recover from all of the events that took place from the phase 0 all the way up to phase 6. We hope you can use these tips in your teaching and learning in the classroom.